Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Welcome to this week's edition of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. First off, everyone, I hope everyone that watches this video, especially those in eastern South Dakota, western Minnesota, that was impacted by the big storm this past Thursday. It was one for the record books in many locations, and I hope all of you got through it as best as you possibly could. And again, that has definitely impacted the number of people that have gone out fishing this past weekend. Despite the great weather that we had, we needed a lot of that for, honestly, a lot of recovery going on around the area and picking up a lot of the debris. But people that went out also found out that not only that the docks were put back in, but also the other bad thing was that there was a bug hatch in much of northeastern South Dakota, and that definitely impacts the fishing around the area. The lakes up in the northeastern part of the state that produced walleyes this past week included Indian Springs and Antelope. Those are probably the two biggest and hottest lakes right now. Reed, Dry Lake by Clark, also Blue Dog, North Rush, Opitz, Bitter, a few being caught at Casey Slough, as well as Clear, and then Waubay. And Waubay really has slowed up this past weekend, and maybe that has to do with the weather and also maybe the bug hatch. As far as the southeastern lakes that produce walleyes, those lakes include Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Thompson, Henry, Ponset, 81 Ponds, Madison, Island, as well as Vermilion. And Vermilion was a surprise this past weekend. And then also Twin, which again, remember, is the trophy lake. And then in the Missouri River continues to do well up and down the river. Guys are coming away with their nice collection of fish, to say the least, having to put in a little bit more time than what they have been because of post-spawn conditions. But again, really a nice batch of fish being caught. What are guys doing to catch the walleyes this past week? A lot of jigs and minnows yet. That seems to be working well. Jigs and plastics. And what I mean by plastics, the larger swim baits. Again, something that you want to use for the post-spawn times here in the next week. Also, mimic minnows. A lot of people make fun of the Northland mimic minnows, but they are a fish catching machine, and they've been working really well this past week. Other lures that people have been using. A lot of guys have been resorting to pulling crankbaits to cover a little bit more water. The Salmo Hornets have been working well as the Berkeley Flicker Shads, and then also the Walleye Nation Creation Shaky Shads have been producing a few fish as well. The panfish bite is starting to pick up around the area. A few lakes have been producing crappies, such as Ponset, Thompson, Vermilion, also Pahoja and Alvin. And what guys have been doing with that is just jigs and minnows, and also jigs and some finesse plastics, some of which you can see behind me here. In this week's edition of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk a little bit about this upcoming event this weekend. It's South Dakota Free Fishing Weekend, May 20th through the 22nd. We don't normally talk about this, but it's a great opportunity if you're trying to introduce someone to fishing. This is a great way to do it because you don't need a license. And also the state parks, the entrance fees have been waived with that as well. So you do not need a fishing license for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and you don't have to be a resident. This is open for resident as well as non-resident, and you can keep your limit. So it's a great opportunity, as I mentioned, to bring along your friends, family that maybe really thinking about fishing but really don't know if they want to get into it. It's a great way to introduce them to a great sport. Along with the Free Fishing Weekend, here at the store, we're going to have a great sale on Zebco combos. 20% off on all Zebco rods, combos, as well as reels. So again, if you're looking for a great reel and a great combo to have someone that's just getting started, a Zebco rod and reel is a great way to do that. So again, make sure if you're going out for the Free Fishing Weekend that you stop by here at the store and take advantage of the great sale that we have on the Zebco products. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And as always, folks, if you'd like to have your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to todd@dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And before we end this week's report, I want to encourage all of you to stay up to date with all the latest happenings here at Dakota Angler by following us on social media. And I know social media isn't always the best thing in the world, but it's a great way to stay up to date with all the latest happenings here at Dakota Angler. We have a Facebook page, Instagram page, as well as Snapchat and Twitter. All great ways to stay up to date. Plus, we have a website, dakotaangler.com, and that's a great way to shop if you can't make it to the store. And as always, if you have any questions about anything or if you'd like to order something over the phone, give us a call at 605-336-9132. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report for Dakota Angler. I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. And again, thanks for watching. Stay healthy and stay safe.